Welcome to this first chapter of Unit 2, a chapter that deals with the design criteria for an effective QMS. Most of you will already have a QMS that has already been designed, so you can use the contents of this and later chapters to consider how you can evolve an existing QMS to cope with new regulatory requirements, QMS ideas, and business pressures. Having looked at the evolution of quality and quality management system thinking in Unit 1, we now want to examine the actual structure of a quality management system in a little more detail. In thinking about the design criteria for a QMS, we need to bear in mind those issues, concerns and points raised in Unit 1. Points related to contemporary quality thinking and points related to traditional pharmaceutical thinking. Why are we doing this? In the first instance, the quality management system is integral to the successful operation of your business, and in the second, you will either be responsible for the system or elements of it, or in some way dependent on it. In either instance, you have a vested interest in the system's design, implementation, maintenance, and review. EU GMP states that we must be satisfied either directly or, more usually, by the proper operation of quality systems. Consequently, we should ensure that we construct, implement, operate and maintain a quality management system that will give both us and the business adequate confidence and assurance in the effectiveness of our operation. We simply must be effective, do as we say, and have a system that promotes effectiveness. Patients will be harmed if we are not effective. However, in addition to an effective system, we need a system that will also be an embracing system. That is, one that takes a holistic approach to quality, one that includes factors outside the scope of this guide, and one that embraces all processes, including those that could impact on product quality. A system that will give us confidence and assurance of efficiency, because, in addition to being effective, we must also be efficient. Many pharmaceutical manufacturing sites have closed or have lost business for not being efficient. Finally, we need a passionate system, a system in which and through which the human element is actively involved and engaged, a system that is humane. Remember Anton's inhumane system from Unit 1. 3 elements need to be considered in the establishment and operation of a QMS. In the first instance, it needs to be appropriately designed or developed, then effectively implemented and maintained, and finally include appropriate mechanisms for review and evaluation. So what should this design be based around? What principal tenet should it embrace? What should it incorporate? We don't want a system that is seen as an expensive add-on. We want a system that is based on business needs, that is seen as a business driver, that reflects corporate requirements, and one where its own objectives are cascaded from the business plan. We will need a system that incorporates any legal requirements, such as health and safety or environmental legislation. And finally, we will need a system that embraces necessary regulatory requirements, be they GMP, GDP, GLP, for example, and also considers appropriate quality standards, such as ISO 9001, either all of ISO 9001 or elements of ISO 9001. Corporate quality management system thinking and organizational quality management systems can, and often are, based on the requirements of GMP. And in EU GMP, we have Chapter 1, Quality Management, 2, Personnel, 3, Premises and Equipment, 4, Documentation, 5, Production, 6, Quality Control, 7, Outsourcing, 8, Complaints and product recalls, 9, self-inspection, and any relevant annexes. Such requirements can then be translated into a system model such as this, with emphasis on system control, manufacture, resource matters, and quality data control. In the model on the screen, you can see all of the elements of the EU GMP chapters put into one of 5 boxes. Many would argue that this is a narrow system, primarily concerned with the effectiveness of a manufacturing process. But it is a system. The other significant model upon which systems are based would be the ISO 9001 model. A model built around 5 sections or generic processes concerned with process control, management commitment, resource management, product realization, and measurement, analysis and improvement. Generic processes that are applicable throughout an organization. A model that is not solely concerned with the manufacturing process, but all processes that both immediately impact and could impact on product quality, such as purchasing and sales and engineering. We could spend a moment just to compare the two models. Even if we concentrated only on the manufacturing process, some significant additions to the traditional GMP model could be seen. When we extend this to all organizational areas, we see a quality model imposing itself onto the business model. We will explore the ISO 9001 based system model in greater detail in the next chapter, but suffice to say, this model embraces elements that the more traditional GMP model very largely ignores. Noteworthy additions to the GMP model relate to process control, with its process identification and control of outsourced processes, management commitment, with its customer focus, roles and responsibilities, internal communication, objectives and system review. It also covers planning of activities. Finally, with its emphasis on monitoring and measurement analysis of data, non-conforming product, continual improvement and corrective action and preventive actions. So, the position we're in. A system will have been designed and developed for you, and this system will probably be based around either a GMP, corporate or ISO model. The questions we need to ask of our current system design, though, remain pertinent. Does our system provide the necessary effective assurance needed? Does it embrace other factors outside the scope of this guide? Does it meet requirements set by the economic climate? Does it address our efficiency as well as effectiveness? Does the current system promote further development and continual improvement? And finally, does our current system need to evolve, and if so, how can it evolve? In this chapter, we have looked at the first stage of a system development life cycle, that of analysis and planning. In that analysis, we have asked what should our system be designed to do, and have looked at the design criteria. We have suggested that the system should afford us assurance of effective operation and, additionally, efficient and humane operation. We have also proposed that such a system should be based on business needs and not be an expensive add-on that adds little value, and that it should incorporate all legal and regulatory requirements. We have reviewed the 2 principal models that we could base our system on. Firstly, the GMP model. We can see that this traditional model has, in the light of contemporary quality and QMS thinking, certain limitations. It is based around the effectiveness of the manufacturing process only and does not formally accommodate those essential features that our second model, the ISO model, does, such as efficiency of operation, the promotion of proactive continuous improvement, and the embracing of all pertinent processes. In the next chapter, we will explore the ISO model a little further and see just what it can offer a traditional EU GMP system model, and also address the importance of the need to contemplate this model further.